everybody, this is Lisa with Bell 51. So today I wanted to go over the top 10 mistakes that people email me about. And I wanna make sure that everybody is good to go with using this Soley laser. So these are the top 10 mistakes that people make with their Soley laser. Number one, the first one is that people don't spot test. So every single part of your skin is very different. So like I say, your upper lip is different from your cheek, and your cheek is different from your chest. And you can basically kind of eyeball what kind of skin is there, and if it's kind of different than the others. But when you do that, you wanna make sure that you do a little spot test with your laser before you start. So the number one thing that I say is to spot test in a little hidden patch, a little area, to see how it'll react and whether or not the setting that you have is good there. So that's the number one thing. Before you up the settings, before you change anything, start at 9 frequency, 1 intensity, and test the area, see how it's gonna respond. Number two. The number two thing that people forget to do is check my email. So I send an email that says, what's next? Like how to use your Soley laser. And that's in your inbox. And if you don't get it, make sure you reach out to me, because it could be in your spam, it could be in your filters, and I can try to find another way to send it to you. But read that email, it's really important. It has aftercare instructions. It has what to expect when using your laser, how the process will go, days 3 through 4. What are you expecting? What is aftercare, like I said, about? So these are really important things. And and it's a way for you to, preemptively plan when you're going to use your laser or when you're not going to use your laser. So I always suggest, please find the email that I sent that says how to use your Soley laser, and it will provide some great insights for you moving forward on how to use your laser. The number 3 mistake that people usually make is aftercare. Are you exfoliating after you use the laser? Are you, getting it wet? Are you going in the water? Are you going out in the sun? Are you using retinol? Are you using benzoyl peroxide, salicylic acid, Accutane? These are chemicals that are harsh. You have to really protect your skin. So be sure to check out our aftercare instructions. They should be in that email that I talked about earlier in number 2. But also, we have it on our website under how to use your JUA 85, and also how to use your Soley laser. There should be a web page that has all of the aftercare instructions on there. So they should be really easy to follow, and for 72 hours, just avoid anything that you think would irritate it. Please use very careful, hypoallergenic type of washes that are, made of natural ingredients, and, try to make sure that you avoid any harsh chemicals on your skin. The number 4 error that people usually make is really laying on that button when they start to use the pulses. So for example, when I use the Soley laser, I wait for 2 beeps. I go beep, beep, move on to the next section, beep, beep, move on to the next section, beep, beep. That's 2 beeps. That's also probably about 1 Mississippi, 1 second. So I would do that. I would not use the laser, I wouldn't lay on it and just beep, 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 beep. That's kind of what it sounds like. I wouldn't lay on it. I would just keep going, 2 seconds, 1 second, 2 beeps, forward all over the area, right? Until you see nothing. And so you see here that I went over that area multiple times, and you saw in those videos that I only did, 2 beeps, which is 1 second. So 1 second. Thanks, guys. Speaking of my videos that I just did, my next tip is going to be about making sure you know when to stop. So this laser, I've used maybe 6 times already. This is the results from the last time. There is a tiny bit there. I could do probably 1 more treatment, but I wouldn't do 1 more treatment. I'm gonna wait 3 weeks to do my last treatment. You know why? Because it takes up to 3 weeks for all of the melanin that has been dissolved by this laser to be absorbed by your body. So what you really wanna do is wait 3 weeks to see your full results. And so I'm going to let this sit for 3 weeks and see what happens. In 2 more weeks, I'll come back and do 1 more session if it still looks the same. So that is something that I'd like to share with you guys, and just knowing when to stop and not proceed with any more sessions. So the one right before your last session, you look at those results and say, only needs about 1 more. That's when to stop and wait 3 weeks. Another tip treating large areas without a plan. So I always suggest using JUA 85 when you have large areas that have discoloration, because it's easier to use than this laser. But if you do happen to find a large area that you actually want to use your laser on, you have to be a little bit strategic about how you're going to go about it, because you can cause some hypopigmentation, which means lightening of the skin, if you keep going over the same spot over and over again. So what you really want to do is try your best to find a landmark on your skin and section it off so that you know where you started and where you finished. Kind of like a before and after on the same area. So I usually like to take mine off. I have mentioned before in videos and YouTube videos that I'll put below that NextCare tapes works really well in sectioning off the areas that you want to treat. So I would do that, and I think that that would be the best case scenario for you when you're treating larger areas. Have a game plan and what areas you're going to go over multiple times and when you will. You can treat one area, treat the other area, do it all at the same time, but you just really need to know what you've done and what you haven't done. Related to that is that this is a laser that dissipates melanin. So one of the issues that I see that people do is that they use it on everywhere that's even close to the dark spots that they want to treat. And that is not something that you want to do. The reason being is that it'll dissipate your own melanin. You don't want it to dissipate your own melanin, you want it to dissipate the melanin in the dark spots. So for example, if I, in this spot that I've been treating, if I have a lighter area around it, what I want to do is make sure that I don't use the laser on the light area around it. I want to make sure I use it directly on the spot that I intend for. So that is what you want to do, because then you can get a light spot in a different area, right? It'll make my skin lighter if I put it someplace else. And what I really want to do is make sure I make the dark spots lighter. So just try to use it only in the darker areas that you're concerned with. Ultrasound gel. So I get this question all the time. Do I need ultrasound gel? Yes, you do. It works really well. It helps to conduct the laser. And then in addition to that, it has a cooling purpose. So it helps you so that you don't actually burn your skin. So you definitely need your ultrasound gel. So a check, make sure you purchase that. You can get it through our website, or you can get it even cheaper on Amazon.com. Another tip. I get a lot of panic emails like, I'm scabbing, I'm panicked. This kind of circles back to the second point that I made, which was to open up your emails or to read the emails that I sent you. So there can be some scabbing that is associated with this laser, but you actually do shed that within a couple of days. And then after that, there is new skin that appears, and then you should see your full results by maybe about a week or maybe a week and a half. And so it may be a little scary of a process if you're afraid of what is underneath, but you should be rest assured that if you're using the frequency of 9 and the intensity of 1, this should be slightly lighter than where you left it. So the last one, that people aren't usually critical about their results. So what you need to do is you need to examine it. Prior to this video, I've made several videos where I kind of figured out, oh, I was retreating the same area and over again. And what was happening was that just the way that my hand was positioned or felt comfortable on my face, just kept doing the same area over and over again. So I was getting great results in one part of my dark patch and okay results in the other part. So what I wanted to do was section that off and make sure that I saw what I needed to work on. So that's always something that I want to share with you guys, is making sure that you, once everything's healed, you see where you haven't been treating. This is a very, very small spot size as far as the laser goes. So it's really important that you go back over it and find the areas that you haven't treated before. Another great thing about that is that you can track your progress. So I love to take those photos and post them for you guys, and it's a before and after kind of thing. So if you do before and after, you can see exactly where you haven't been treating. And a plus side to that is that if you send them in to me, I can go ahead and send you back ultrasound gel or silicone healing patches, just so, to say a thank you for sending us your results. So just something to think about, and thank you guys for tuning in to the top 10 mistakes people usually make with their Soley.